Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV. This is episode number 516 for Wednesday, the 9th of August, 2017. Nice to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, we're going to be showing you a device that will allow you to Miracast. Basically, clone the screen of your phone, your computer, whatever other device. In this case, our phone directly to HDMI. So if you want to hook up your phone to the TV, to the computer, to Wirecast in our case, it's pretty cool. Stick around. We're going to be showing you how to do that. We're also going to be giving you an opportunity to tell Sasha what kind of computer she should build.
Yes.
We're going to be learning a little more about that in just a little bit time, and you're going to have an opportunity to share your thoughts about what components she should buy in order to build her own computer. Stick around. Sasha, over in the newsroom, what do you got for us?
Here's what's coming up in the Category 5.tv newsroom. From the Irony Files, the security researcher who found the kill switch for WannaCry has now been arrested for creating an unrelated malware. IBM scientists have set a new world record, storing 330 terabytes of uncompressed data on one tape. Wayland has been confirmed as the default display server for Ubuntu 17.10. Canadian ISPs don't mess around. An entrepreneur accused of piracy for his Kodi add-on website has been grilled in his home for hours, and not by the cops, but by pushy company reps and cable TV and ISP companies. And the U.S. Army has banned DJI drones over security concerns. Stick around, the full details are coming up later in the show.
This is Category 5 Technology TV.
Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs.
Category 5 TV streams live with Telestream, Wirecast, and Nimble Streamer. Tune in every week live on Roku, Kodi, and other HLS video players. For local showtimes, visit Category5.tv.
Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. cat5.tv/TPN and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters, cat5.tv/IAIB.
Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV, folks. Nice to see you. Nice to be here this week. Beautiful day here in Barrie.
Yeah,
you biked in?
I biked in
Nice.
with nothing to report. It was a beauty day.
Gorgeous.
No.
Absolutely
The
gorgeous.
weekly bike report.
Henry, good to see you, man. Been a while.
Yeah, I know it has. I'm back from Mars.
And you were doing some traveling around.
Yeah,
The old Canada
I was,
kinda idea?
My legs are still tired from all the walking, but coast to coast, that was pretty fun.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's good to be back, because home's where the heart is, and Category 5, so I had to come back.
I'm looking for some cliche to...
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Speaking of being back, our forum is back. So,
Yes.
hey, get over to forum.category5.tv. Great place for you to interact with the community. And we want to grow that place. So it's a spot where you can go any time of the day or night, and people will be able to reply to your forum posts. So head on over to forum.category5.tv. Now, I had some downtime over the past couple of weeks and finished editing Becca's newest novel. So Becca's my wife. She's an author, and she's written several novels, but really exciting time for us because her newest novel is now available.
That is cool. Where do you find it?
Well, we've started seeing various stores around the world starting to pick it up.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
So
awesome.
that's kind of cool. I think there are 5 stores as of tonight. I mean, it just went up like 48 hours ago kind of thing for sale.
Cool.
But we start to see them populating in various stores. So
Yay.
we've seen 5 stores so far, plus, of course, Amazon and things like that. So look for Becca Ferguson, and it's spelled Bekah, and same last name as me. So there you go. Right now, we're actually giving away 2 copies. So Amazon is holding the draw. This is a new feature on Amazon, which
That's
is kinda
awesome.
cool.
So then how do you become part of the draw then?
Just head on over to cat5.tv/giveaway. And you can
Okay.
win an actual paperback copy of the book. It's called When the Fog Cleared. It's a Christian romance. So if you're into that kind of thing, then that would be for you. So check it out. But cat5.tv/giveaway. And that's there. And it's kind of cool that Amazon is the one that's fielding the
the draw itself.
So they are collecting, you know, I think there's some criteria that you have to qualify for, and then they're giving away 2 copies of the book.
That's awesome.
And then billing my credit card.
Yay! Technology.
So, yeah, but they've set it all up, so that's kind of neat.
That's cool.
Do you want to talk a little bit about, Sasha, you're having trouble with getting into the chat room.
I am, yeah.
Your phone there, and we're trying to figure out, okay, well, how can you get your phone up on a bigger screen, and so on and so forth. We've encountered this with broadcasting where we're always looking for ways to bring in other camera sources. So whether they be cameras themselves, computer screens, or mobile devices.
Right.
Right? So, you know, we've done Slimport. Slimport is amazing. This is so cool. I don't know if you knew this or not, but that little USB port on your Android phone can do other things. It's USB. So it's not just a charging port. It's not just a transferring port.
So
You can install a Slimport adapter by simply plugging it in. There,
Sneaky.
It's installed. And that is a full-sized HDMI output for my phone.
Huh.
So now I can hook up my phone to the TV or projector or anything else, right? That's
well,
full
isn't
HDMI.
that smart?
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Sneaky.
So we've used that in the past here at the studio anytime we want to bring up the phone.
Yeah.
But it's wires. More
Right.
cables. Have you ever seen our floors here? If you ever watched us in
Not.
360, you know there are wires everywhere. And more wires, more HDMI cables.
Can make a bed of wires.
No, thank you. It does work very well, but it is what it is.
So
It's a
my guess
cable.
is that you have a wireless solution.
What if?
Oh.
What if?
Ooh, well, Miracast is something that's built into your Android phone. It's also, you know, there are drivers that you can install it on Ubuntu that are kind of under development. Windows 10 has it built in. So it's an open platform, open protocol for screencasting, for getting the screen of your device onto another device wirelessly.
Okay.
It's called Miracast. So the neat thing about it is that because it's an open technology, it's coming into the place where you don't have to spend $150 to get a device that you can cast to.
Yeah.
And it's not Chromecast. You're familiar with Chromecast, but that has, you know, it's got to be a compatible application, or it's got to have, you know, the Chromecast capability within the app itself, or you've got to do it through the browser. So a little bit different. Miracast is just, it's anything that's on the screen. Absolutely anything. So it's like using an HDMI output, but it's all there. So as I was saying, the cost comes down because more manufacturers are able to bring them out. Truth be told, more Chinese manufacturers are able to bring them out.
Right.
They're more and more readily available. And then all of a sudden you get things like this from Anycast, the M2 Plus, which, as you can see here, is just a little dongle. It looks like Chromecast,
cool.
doesn't it?
It actually does. It even has like the little circle.
Yeah, it's like a knockoff logo, but it's actually like, it's like an eye bulb.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh. Anyway, so let's get into it. So what this allows us to do is stream wirelessly from our phone to this device. So
Cool.
Getting into the box, just get a quick look at what we have here. Some cables.
Yay, cables.
We wanted to get away from cables. All right, but here's the thing. This cable goes into the back of this device. It's not going to plug in to our phone and all that kind of stuff, even though it is just micro USB. So, okay, that's micro USB. That is a Wi-Fi dongle.
Right.
And this is USB, presumably for power.
Okay.
Now, the key thing here with our M2 Plus, which incidentally you can get through our shop, you can go to cat5.tv/anycast, and that's going to be able to hook you up with one of these. They're dirt cheap, so there you go. So this dongle, as like a Chromecast, has simply an HDMI full-sized plug on there. So you plug that into the side of your TV.
Awesome.
Your TV has a USB port for service, but it also gives power. So then this goes into the side of the TV as well for powering the device. And then we've got USB micro right there, which is going to power the Anycast device, and the Wi-Fi is going to give it its own access point. So guesses. Why would it have its own access point built in? You've already got Wi-Fi in your home network. Any guesses? Just put that out there, chat room. All right, I'll give you a hint. And by way of hint, I mean the answer. traditionally with these kinds of devices, you plug them in and, okay, how do I get it now connected to my Wi-Fi network? I've got to plug in a keyboard to it. I've got to bring it up on the TV. I've got to set up networking. I've got to plug in all more cables, and so on and so forth. So by having this, now this Wi-Fi is not what we're going to use to connect to it. This Wi-Fi is going to allow us, first of all, to connect to this device, to configure it, to then connect out to our existing Wi-Fi. So we can do all of the setup from our phone, from our computer, from anything at all. It's app free. You see some of the reviews that will say, oh, well, the app was, in Chinese, or the app was garbage, or you don't need an app for this. Why are you installing an app for Miracast? It's already built into your phone. And I'm going to show you that in a couple of minutes' time. But because it's already built in, and because this is configured through Wi-Fi, so all I have to do is just connect my phone to its built-in Wi-Fi, log into the interface, set up my router, and then it's working. Boom. Plain and simple.
Oh, that's perfect.
So we're going to take a really quick break. While we're on break and you're enjoying this wonderful commercial, I'm going to just simply plug this into our Telestream Wirecast broadcast computer. You can plug this into your TV. You can plug this into a video capture device like I'm going to do tonight. And what this will allow us to do here is bring up a phone on the screen. So if we ever want to do an app review, or if you want to be able to look at your phone, the chat room on a big TV or something like that, you can use Miracast to wirelessly stream it, and your phone is still something that you can stick in your pocket and just simply turn on and off Miracast. Okay, so that's that. We're going to come right back after this.
Jeff Weston,
Yeah, man.
you're building a brand new, beautiful website,
What?
aren't you?
No. Am I?
Oh, you're a terrible actor.
What?
This is where acting comes into play.
Oh, I didn't know we were acting.
You're supposed to act.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, I'm building a really cool website. Are you building a really cool website? You need hosting. One of the things about a hosting account is you don't want to have limitations put on your website.
It's true.
How much hard drive space do you have? How many email accounts? How many domains can point to it? Well, we've got an amazing deal for you. For a very limited time, cat5.tv/dreamhost, for just $5 and a bit of change per month, you are going to get unlimited website hosting, unlimited email accounts on that hosting service. You are also going to receive a free domain name.
Ooh.
So your own .com.
Nice.
To put that amazing website that you've been working on
It's true.
there. If you want to build a WordPress site, fine. Sign up. cat5.tv/dreamhost.
Just don't put Panama Papers on it.
Just don't do it. But hey, it's a great deal, folks. Best deal you're going to find. $5 and change per month. Go to cat5.tv/dreamhost. Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Now, the Miracast device, the M2 Plus from Anycast, is available at cat5.tv/Anycast, just like it sounds, and it's plugged into our Telestream Wirecast broadcast server into a Magewell capture card. So that's HDMI input for a computer that allows us to stream from our cameras or from any HDMI device. Now, we've got 5 HDMI inputs in our server, so I've just plugged it into one. So all I have to do is just click on for Wirecast to switch screens, and that is what I see. So you see the SSID up there? That is the built-in Wi-Fi that we were talking about. And the PSK, that's the pre-shared key. That is the password that I can use to connect to it right now, or that you can use if you're within about 2 kilometers to hack our network. No, not really. That you want to keep that private. That allows people to make changes to the settings of the device, but that is essentially it. So now, in order to access that, of course, all I need to do on my phone is look for that Anycast SSID, just like connecting to any Wi-Fi hotspot, and then bring up my web browser, go to the IP address, which it's going to give me, and then I can just do the settings for my router. Now, I've already taken the liberty of doing that just to expedite things today for the sake of a live broadcast. But just know that if you have any trouble setting it up, it is actually quite simple. Just kind of trace your steps. First step is connect to its Wi-Fi that's built in. Then on the screen, on the TV screen, so this screen is going to change screens to say, here's my IP address, all you need to do is connect to it. So then I connect to it from my phone or my other, my laptop with Wi-Fi connected to that device, and then it will allow me to set up my router.
Cool.
My router is my existing in-home or in-office network, and that's the Wi-Fi connection so that this device can now connect out to all of my other Wi-Fi devices. So now, when I'm connected to my own personal Wi-Fi, I can access my Anycast device from my phone. Cast to it. So it is kind of a moment of truth because, I've had everything unplugged and it's just been sitting here on the desk. Put it back in the box so that we could do a fancy unboxing. And here we go. Okay, so on my phone, being that this is Android, all I need to do is just bring down my settings up here and scroll over. And now, because I have this feature enabled, you may need to turn on this on your menu, but I actually have a Miracast icon up there at the top. And I've taken a screenshot there just so that you can see that at home. Now, when I click on that, I'm going to switch modes over here. I'm going to switch over to this. Now, because I'm on the same Wi-Fi network as this, as soon as I click on Miracast, my phone now says connecting to Anycast DF. And there it goes, as quickly as that. So there you can see there's the Miracast icon up at the top there. So now I've got this ability to actually use my phone, and I'm casting directly to it. So why would I want to do this? Obviously, for me here in a broadcast studio, it makes sense if we ever want to demo an app on Android. How fantastic is that I can do it wirelessly just from my phone? If you're at home, a lot of live streaming happens on your phone.
Right.
You think about the countdown, New Year's Day.
Right.
New Year's Eve night.
Yeah.
And the countdown is always available through their app. You can always, tune in on your phone, but what about being able to cast it up in 1080p to your HD TV?
Exactly. You don't want to have to buy like $1 million add-on.
And not running a bunch of cables.
I mean, even for sharing photos, like if you're sitting around.
Oh,
I mean, I'm
sure,
not
yeah.
we're not super old school like the slideshows, although we kind of are. Every time Dave and I go away, we have people over and we
Would
show
you like
them
to
our
see my
pictures.
photos? Allow me to Miracast them.
Yeah,
for you.
exactly. But we actually
It is kind of sci-fi-ish, isn't it? Like I'm just shooting them off to the TV.
Right, and we have a fun big TV and we have comfortable couches, so we have people over and we sit them down and we show them the pictures. So Miracast the pictures would be easier.
It works, right? You can see if I switch back to Miracast that I have done very miserably with my steps today. If I bring up my media and video, I can bring up, there's Podcast Addict, which allows me to watch and listen to podcasts, bring up YouTube, and there's our channel. Now, interestingly enough, I mean, the first question that you're going to ask is what happens if I take that and I rotate it? Well, what does YouTube do? Well, at least it's supposed to. There it goes.
Yeah.
Take its time. Prove me wrong. I don't know why my phone is slow to rotate. But anyways, Miracast is going to follow suit. Oh, it's faster on Miracast. No, it's not. It's just, I thought
That
it was.
one time.
Yeah. But there you have it. It is actually going to, now I'm going to rotate my phone. There you go.
Cool.
So it does it like that. Okay, that's cool.
Fancy.
So now if I obviously hit play on the video, you're going to see that on here.
So now it's an episode.
Milking our bandwidth for all it's worth. Did I even push play? No, I didn't. There we go. Okay, so the show is playing, and then I switch back to Miracast, and you'll see that simultaneously it's playing there. Now, the quality looks horrendous. Well, what's that about? YouTube, hello. 240p, no thank you. I'm here at the studio. We've got miserable internet on LTE, so I'll just switch it to 720p, and we'll see. There we go. Doesn't that look
that's
nice?
better.
Yeah. So it's as easy as that. So we've got the ability to have it on in both places at once. You've got a tablet, you've got a TV,
Cool.
or VR goggles.
Oh,
Okay,
share
so
your experience.
Exactly. So I'm playing a VR video game,
Right.
which I can't normally share with anyone else because it's on my phone, it's in my goggles, and I'm playing like this, and they're wondering what's going on. Now they can watch it on the screen as well. Video
That's cool.
games, full screen,
That is cool.
anything else. I mean, games
Okay.
on these things these days are pretty impressive. What's the performance like? Do I have anything even worth looking at? I've got Lego Star Wars. It's just whatever the kids want, right? Does it even play on here?
One way to find out.
Yeah, one way to find out.
Oh,
So this is just live casting through Miracast.
Episode 516, the episode where Robbie plays video games on
From my
his phone.
Doesn't that look superb, though.
That actually looks really good.
My phone is not, it's an LG G3, so it's not really that. It's not a hugely impressive phone. I mean, your phone may be better than this, but so that's live streaming through Miracast from my phone.
Well, it'd be great if you have kids and stuff too, and they can play on the big screen, and not everyone has to like huddle around a phone.
I think so. Yeah, or just to be able to bring it off of this screen and up onto the big one. So there you have it. That is the Anycast M2 Plus. They're available really cheap. Go to cat5.tv/Anycast. I'm sure you can think of a ton of ways to use this. It's just one of those things I like to have. I like to own one so that if I ever need it, we've got it.
I do have a question from the chat room just about your experience with it and battery life. The Foo wants to know.
I haven't really observed any difference in battery life,
that's
but to
good.
be honest with you, I usually keep my phone charged anyways. You two know I've got a phone soap over here. When I get to the studio, I plug in my phone. When I get home, I plug in my phone. That's just me. I keep my phone at a full charge. Whether or not Miracast uses more life, now it is going to be tapping into your Wi-Fi. So as you know, you're using your wireless internet. It's going to drain your battery life faster than if you're in airplane mode. But that's all it's really doing is, it's processing it and sending the content over Wi-Fi. As opposed to battery life, just to let you know, now I have experienced slim port because this is what we originally used here at the show, and my phone gets hot with that.
That's interesting.
Right.
There's a lot more processor usage with slim port, whereas when I'm using Miracast, there's no notable change in use, like as far as heat goes, when I'm using my phone. So I can be casting from my phone, and it just is operating just as if I was on Wi-Fi. There's no additional heat. I don't notice any anyways. I haven't ever, put it into a spectrograph or anything like that. But
there you go.
So I find it's really quite efficient, and it obviously works really well.
Yeah, it surely does.
Let us know what you think, and thank you for watching this little minor unboxing review.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, this is Category 5 Technology TV. We get into some interesting little bits of tech here and there, and that's just one of them that I thought I would show you. Sasha, speaking of interesting bits of tech.
Dun, dun,
The news?
No.
No.
Is it that time already?
Yeah, it is.
What? Sorry, let me wind my steampunk watch. This is my fidget spinner.
Does it run on Steam?
Or is it? So you just? How often do you have to wind it to make
Twice
it?
a day.
Oh.
But I wind it more often than that just because
It's like
You're
a fidget
fidgeting.
spinner.
fidget spinner. It is my. I got thinking about these fidget spinners and the trend, and I'm like, okay, when we were kids, we had watches that we did this with. We had all kinds of. We had Jacob's ladders. Remember those? You remember that?
Yeah.
This is the ladder that, it just keeps going and it keeps going and it goes inside out, and that was our fidget spinner.
Well, yeah, the
We had
thing
those.
is,
Rubik's Cube.
I don't understand why people are like looking down upon fidget spinners as much as they do, only because you're forcing the kids, by and large, to sit still when they really don't want to. It's really difficult.
Get them
even
a core stool.
That's right.
Just in
Then they can
school,
just-
just be like, yeah.
These would be great for school. I don't know if you guys know what we're sitting on here tonight, but
Likely
core
not.
stools. These are actually like this. There you go. So can you see that?
Yeah.
So it actually works your core as you're sitting. There's no, there's no back to it. There's no. And
It's
we're
wobbly.
just
around.
learning how to sit on them without looking like we're
drunken,
falling over.
we're drunken sailors.
But then you can like adjust the height and stuff too, so it could be like really short compared to you guys.
Or Sasha can be just as tall as us.
guys
She's
grew.
really excited about this.
And I'm like, ah. But
I
it
can
means I
kinda
can't
hop
reach
around,
the
too. It's
ground,
like a
actually.
Pogo chair. Oh, can't you? Oh, her feet are 4 feet off the floor.
But I'm the same height as you.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll let you take it away with the news, Sasha.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about tech.
Yes, we really need to. I need your help with this. This is
You.
so important.
My friends, you, viewers, are going to help Sasha because she needs to build a computer.
I need to build a computer, and I'm so excited and nervous about it, and I know you can help.
You're going to help her choose the peripherals that she's going to use, and then I'm going to help her put on the CPU paste.
Now it's just watch.
I'm doing
From
it.
my
I'm doing it.
So,
Okay.
Stick around. We're going to be getting into that right after the news. Sasha, take it away.
Here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category 5.tv newsroom. From the Irony Files, the security researcher who found the kill switch for WannaCry has now been arrested for creating an unrelated malware. IBM scientists have set a new world record storing 330 terabytes of uncompressed data in one tape. Wayland has been confirmed as the default display server for Ubuntu 17.10. Canadian ISPs don't mess around. An entrepreneur accused of piracy for his Kodi add-on website has been grilled in his home for hours, and not by the cops, but by pushy company reps for cable TV and ISP companies. And the U.S. Army has banned DJI drones over security concerns. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
Now here's another great way you can support the shows you love from the Category 5.tv network by shopping at GearBest.
That's right, Jeff. cat5.tv/GearBest. It's an online store for the geek streak in you.
Or the loved ones.
Well, of course. I mean, especially your loved ones, right? Because cat5.tv/GearBest, quite frankly, has all of the greatest tech gifts that you could ever hope for at rock-bottom prices.
Do they have cell phones?
You betcha. cat5.tv/GearBest has a wide assortment of unlocked Android cell phones and tablets.
What about consumer electronics? Those make a great gift.
Absolutely. From high-tech watches to action cameras, headphones, even virtual reality headsets. cat5.tv/GearBest has you covered. They literally have it all, Jeff. Literally.
Really?
It's like a superstore right from the comfort of your own chair at your computer through the interweb.
Yeah. There's no way they have it all.
It's true.
It's just a bunch of random electronics.
Test me.
What about clothes?
Yep. Both men and women, fashionable apparel at rock-bottom, super-duper prices.
Kind of like this?
Well, look at this coat. What do you think? It's a slimming mock leather jacket.
I love it.
It's available for less than $30 plus free shipping at cat5.tv/GearBest.
All right. You kind of got me there.
Wow. Any other questions for me, Jeff?
Now that the winter has passed, flying season, do they have any good deals on, say, drone copters?
Oh my goodness! Well, check this out. Dude, they have everything. Check out over 500 various drones. And not only that, they're available marked down by about 30 to up to 63% off the regular price.
Love it. What's the website again?
Well, you're going to find GearBest on our partners pages for any of your favorite Category 5 TV shows like New Every Day, Category 5 Technology TV, The Pixel Shadow. But of course, if you want to shop absolutely right now and you want to go straight to the site, all you have to do is visit cat5.tv/GearBest.
See, that's easy. cat5.tv/GearBest.
That's right. Happy shopping.
I'm Sasha Dermatis, and here are the top stories for the week of August 9th, 2017. Remember Marcus Hutchins, the security researcher who single-handedly found and used the WannaCry kill switch? Well, he has now been arrested and charged with unrelated malware offenses in the U.S. Not so long ago, Marcus Hutchins, a 23-year-old British security researcher with the blog name Malware Tech, became an accidental hero when he discovered an effective kill switch to stop the biggest unprecedented WannaCry ransomware attack that had crippled thousands of computers. The ransomware spread to more than 300,000 computers across 150 countries around the world in May 2017. However, this savior was arrested last Wednesday at the Black Hat and DEF CON cybersecurity conference as part of an FBI investigation for his alleged involvement in an unrelated malware attack much before his WannaCry heroics. Apparently, Hutchins is involved in creating and distributing malicious software Kronos, a Russian banking Trojan, through emails with malicious attachments to steal users' money using credentials such as internet banking passwords, the U.S. authorities said on Thursday. According to an indictment released by the U.S. Department of Justice, Hutchins faces 6 counts of helping to create, spread, and maintain the banking Trojan Kronos between 2014 and 2015. The indictment alleged that Hutchins created the Kronos malware and The other person, who was not named, later sold it for $2,000 online. The malware had been configured to access username and password information on banking websites and was used in Canada, Germany, Poland, France, the UK, and other countries. The UK's National Cybersecurity Centre said that we are aware of the situation and this is a law enforcement matter and it would be inappropriate to comment further. Digital rights group, the Electronics Frontier Foundation, said it was deeply concerned with his arrest, whilst Naomi Colvin from Civil Liberties campaign group Courage said Mr. Hutchins did the world an enormous service when he stopped the WannaCry attack. So I just want to say quickly, if I were his defense lawyer, I would say, well, yes, he did this really bad thing, and it is a really bad thing he did. But perhaps he felt so guilty about it that he decided to change his ways and decided to live on the
that's a hard thing.
Light side. Because it would be different if he did the bad thing after the good thing.
Are you suggesting that he's Darth Vader? And, like, in the end, like, he threw the virus off the
Wait, I don't know the end.
railing?
Spoiler alert.
No, out of context.
It's his father.
The virus is his father. I don't know.
So I just feel like what he did for the WannaCry was amazing.
It was his redemption story?
Yes. It probably would have been best honesty is best policy if he said, like, in his press conference after that.
Way?
So what I was doing was redeeming myself. You may have heard of this this Kronos Trojan. That was me, and I'm so sorry, please. Then like the FBI would be like, I don't know what to do anymore.
My son, when he was about 6 years old, he came downstairs, and he's covered in shaving cream.
Oh. Yes.
And he said to me, and we're trying not to laugh, he's just covered, and he says, Dad, I did a bad thing. And it's just like, okay, maybe that's what he might have done.
In hindsight, yeah. Oh, by the way, while I'm your hero, let me tell you a little something.
Yeah. That's tough because his involvement in Kronos was very major. Like, it's not like he was just some guy.
He created.
He may have been a part of it. No, he was like the creator.
He is the creator. Yeah, and so he didn't sell it. Somebody else sold it for only $2,000, which is crazy. But also,
it's a tough thing. Where are the lines? Where are the lines? Because ethical hacking, you can hack for the good, and you know what he did with WannaCry, fantastic.
Yeah. So has he changed his ways?
Or is it just another hack?
Well, really,
or is he just like a hack
one's
addict?
Good, one's bad, as far as our measuring system goes.
Well, that's the thing, is that people say that hackers are like white blood cells on the internet. You know, like they help, like they get into places and they help solve problems like that, right?
Certainly.
So it's just like there is ethical hacking, but then it's like you get into like the whole like double-edged sword. And
exactly. I don't want anybody accessing my banking information
except you.
Except me. And sometimes I forget my password.
Call this guy. He can give it to you.
That's right. Scientists at IBM Research have created a new world record for storing over 330 terabytes of uncompressed data on a single tape cartridge that can easily fit into the palm of a person's hand.
Wait. A tape?
330
We're still
terabytes.
Using tapes?
Here we are.
In
this story, we use tapes.
I showed my kids what a cassette was the other day.
Did it blow their mind?
My son, the shaving cream boy, he said,
smart one.
What is that? just like that.
Yeah.
Here we are doing 330 terabytes.
I know, and the thing is, I had an 8-track when I was a kid.
Oh, of course you did.
Well, yeah. Okay, this storage capacity is more than the world's biggest hard drives. The record set by IBM in collaboration with Sony Storage Media Solutions can support data storage densities of 201 gigabytes per square inch, which is more than 20 times the density of commercial tape drives that hold data between 5 gigabytes and 7 gigabytes per square inch.
What?
Yeah, the researchers showcased this feat at the 28th Magnetic Recording Conference in Japan.
And I was thinking I was going to go to that.
I just love that they have a conference called the Magnetic Recording Conference.
That's awesome.
Held in Japan. This is the time that IBM scientists have set a world record of tape storage since 2006, when at that time density was a measly 6.67 gigabytes per square inch with a total cartridge capacity of 8 terabytes. The last time IBM announced it had made advancements in the space was 2015, when the cartridge capacity was 220 terabytes and 123 gigabytes per square inch. The achievement by IBM comes as good news for cloud service providers who need to back up and store ever-expanding volumes of information from big data applications ranging to scientific research to security and surveillance videos all the time. In order to develop the new tape-based storage prototype and to achieve the 201 gigabytes per square inch, IBM researchers had to develop several new technologies. IBM made use of its reading and writing technology with Sony's sputtered magnetic tape to store data. Sputtering involves coating the storage medium with several nanometer thin layers of different conducting materials, including a 5 nanometer overcoat of diamond-like carbon. The scientists also use several layers of nanoparticles to extend the tape length. Furthermore, IBM also incorporated their advanced servo control technologies and innovative signal processing algorithms. IBM exploratory tape scientist Mark Lantz said this really demonstrates the potential to continue scaling tape technology basically at historical rates of doubling the cartridge capacity every 2 years for at least the next 10 years.
Wow.
That's really good news for our customers that could rely on tape technology. It's kind of an integral part of their storage infrastructure to really preserve their data in a cost-effective manner.
Did anyone else own a VIC-20? You didn't.
I did.
Did you own a VIC-20? Do you remember the cassettes? Do you remember the tapes? Unbelievable.
Were there like a few kilobytes?
If even that. I mean, you'd put a cassette tape in and you just record, and it used audio to save the data.
I think it's cool. Like, I don't understand the layers, but it's cool that they have the sputtering thing, which means I think that they can have data like on layers on the tape.
And I would assume that they have to have some kind of read heads that can read at different densities.
Yeah.
So you'd be looking at like 201 gigabytes per square inch.
What is a conference like this like?
Think about that, folks. 201 gigabytes in this much space.
Yeah.
So it's like
on a thin little piece of plastic.
I mean, they're measuring in nanometers, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like
crazy.
Not sure what that is.
That's tiny.
Imperial.
That's like.
You can't even measure that. It's like
like little
It's
nano.
with your finger. With your fingers.
Yeah.
It's like.
Gotcha. I understand.
Although always the ultimate plan, Ubuntu devs expressed doubt about making the switch to Wayland last month, with Will Cook, Ubuntu's desktop team leader, saying he felt Wayland isn't ready yet. But several weeks later, after a lot of testing, a decision is now in place. Ubuntu 17.10 will ship with Wayland as the default session. If you're an NVIDIA user, a big gamer, or happen to be using hardware that this next-gen display server tech doesn't yet play nice with, do not panic. Although Wayland will be default, it isn't compulsory. Ubuntu will still have an X session available out of the box, ready to roll a click or two away. And that should come as a huge relief for the majority who feel that Wayland doesn't currently work well enough to be a daily driver. Have you tried Ubuntu on Wayland yet? What's your experience been like? Let us know by sharing your comments below. If you thought American or British copyright fights were petty, consider the case of Canadian Adam Lackman, who had a bailiff, lawyers, and computer experts burst into his home, seize his gear, and grill him for hours. Lackman, a self-described tech entrepreneur, hosts the TV Add-ons website, which links to add-ons for Kodi, the open source media player suite formerly known as XBMC. Typically, you install Kodi on a little gadget that plugs into your TV so you can watch stuff from files or streamed over the internet. People install add-ons, such as those indexed by TV add-ons, to scrape video from places like BBC's iPlayer and ESPN and then show them on their televisions. Broadcasters and commercial content creators love to hate Kodi and its unofficial add-ons because the software can be used by viewers to bypass DRM and region locks to stream and pirate stuff they shouldn't. There's an ongoing battle against equipment makers that help folks rip off material online, and Kodi is often at the center of it. The case against Lachman rests on claims that 23 of more than 1,500 add-ons listed on his site can be used for copyright infringement. Amid a civil court battle brought against him by Canadian cable giants, lawyers and IT experts on behalf of the TV and broadband companies, his home was invaded in a move later ruled unlawful. First, a lawsuit was filed by Bell, Rogers, and Videotron against the TV add-ons creator, alleging copyright infringement. They then obtained a court order which allowed a plaintiff to enter the premises to preserve evidence in a civil case. After getting the order, a bailiff, 2 computer technicians, an independent counsel to oversee the order's execution, and a lawyer representing Bell, Rogers, and Videotron knocked on the door of Lachman's home and began questioning him. 16 hours later, they were still there, and had subjected Lachman to many hours of grilling. Lachman says, at this point, there is no choice but to fight. At this point, he is already $100,000 in the hole for legal fees, and he still can't get his computer equipment and phones back just yet, because even though the courts have since ruled in his favor, the plaintiffs have filed an appeal. Lachman set up an Indiegogo page to tell his side of the story and fund his defense against the telecom giants. More than $25,000 US has been raised so far. In the meantime, Lachman has resurrected the TV add-ons website. I will just maybe mention a little bit that $25,000 US, which is a lot more,
$1 million.
Like $1 million Canadian.
Yeah.
So these are people who likely are pirating shows because they don't want to pay their cable bill, but they're willing to pay for this guy's defense.
Yeah. It's a matter of ethics.
It's funny.
The irony in it.
I know. I mean, Kodi can be used for non-piratey things.
We have a Kodi channel.
Yeah,
we give it to you free.
Exactly.
Yay,
so it's not Kodi itself that's the problem. It's the fact that this guy has these add-ons that can be perhaps infringing on some copyright issues.
It's a modular system. It would be like saying, let's sue Microsoft. Let's shut down Microsoft because on Microsoft Windows there's a bunch of pirated games.
And you can download BitTorrent and get torrents from stuff and
exactly. Come on.
Well, that's the thing.
Understand the infrastructure. Of the thing.
That operator of the sentence. It's it can be used for negative things, right? And it's what a lot of things can be used for bad things. It depends on people, right? So it's hard. It's a double-edged sword in this fight, right? So
I feel like going into a guy's house and grilling him for 16 hours is not a very Canadian move.
No.
I hope they apologized.
They probably did.
Yeah.
It's maple syrup.
We're so sorry to bother you. Would you mind having a seat?
Yes,
Can I get you something to
That's
drink?
the Canadian grilling. There you go. No, sorry, we misread that. They actually grilled him some pancakes.
That's right.
Canadian bacon. And
The U.S. Army has ordered its members to stop using drones made by Chinese manufacturer SZ DJI Technology Company Limited because of cyber vulnerabilities in the products. An Army memo posted and verified last week forbids the use of all DJI drones and even systems that use DJI components or software. It requires service members to cease all use, uninstall all DJI applications, remove all batteries and storage media, and secure equipment for follow-on direction. The memo says DJI drones are the most widely used by the Army among off-the-shelf equipment of that type. DJI said in a statement that it was surprised and disappointed at the Army's unprompted restriction on the DJI drones, as we were not consulted during their decision. The privately held company said that it would contact the Army to determine what it means by cyber vulnerabilities and was willing to work with the Pentagon to address concerns. The move appears to follow studies conducted by the Army Research Laboratory and the Navy that said that there were risks and vulnerability in DJI products. The memo cites a classified Army Research Laboratory report and a Navy memo, both from May, as references for the order to cease use of DJI drones and related equipment.
Wow.
I just watched the Snowden movie, so now I just feel like everybody's spying on everybody.
All right.
I just really just feel like
Paranoid?
perhaps I'm not the right person to comment on this, because probably.
I think Henry might be.
I can go for hours about this, but like,
So
But
is
we looked at remember the DJI Osmo camera.
Yeah.
So the camera would be affected
yeah,
too.
that would be banned too. Well, it's funny because two things.
I
Firstly,
like that one.
it's like name an electronic device that isn't built in China or uses like servers in China, things like that nowadays. But at the same time, it's like you're banning like a device. So let's say like a drone or whatever from like the Department of National Defense because it might be used against you. But the thing is that like they've had like instances where people can hack into like their multi-million-dollar like Predator drones, right?
Sure.
So it's just like their main concern is like security, especially when it comes to that, because it's like, oh well, maybe the Chinese military might hack into this or things like that.
Well, you
spy on
fly
you.
DJI.
Yeah, exactly.
So how much? Now I know with the Osmo camera, I had to activate an app.
yeah, so you have like it's a free app that you download, right?
So what is this app doing that's calling?
Yeah, what are
home
in the
that would
permissions
concern?
of that free
Exactly.
app?
If you read the small permissions, right? Because they might collect like usage data, things like that.
Well, they've got geolocation data.
Yeah, exactly, right? So like you have geofencing and things like that, right? So, and then at the end of the day, you have like your flight logs. So like where
Right.
you flew, how long you flew, things
What
like
were you
that.
doing?
Exactly. If you're on a military base and it's like you're doing like a exercise and if somebody hacks into your account, can they see like where you did stuff, things like that,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's like it's not just DJI though. It's like there's so many other drone companies out there that have networked drones like this.
Sure.
So like you might like see Parrot or like all the other like hundreds of other operators like creations out there.
Yeah, I don't fly such sophisticated drones, but thinking about the cameras and thinking about how the Sony camera has a built-in GPS. My phone has a built-in GPS.
Yeah.
And, you wear a Fitbit.
Yeah.
And so all of this data is being collected anyways. So
Oh yeah, it's all in the cloud somewhere, right? And it
Somewhere.
really is like, where are the servers? And it's like, are there copies of the data?
And more so than where are they? Because we pretty much know where they are. They're going to be where it's cheap to host it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And so, what are the security measures that are in place in order to protect confidential information? And if it's government data, how much control do they have over the security of that data?
That's the thing, right?
true.
Like I'm really interested to see where the story goes because it's like I have friends in the military and they take pictures and stuff all the time, right?
Sure.
So
yeah.
it's just like, I know this is just for the U.S., but are other countries going to follow suit, or will DJI talk to like the American military and kind of sort this out? Like I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah, we'll certainly hear over the next little while with DJI approaching them.
Yeah.
I think about police too that are using DJI devices in order to track down criminals and chase bad guys.
So it's a double-edged sword. isn't it?
Find lost animals and
Same time, you could bring drugs into prison though using drones. Not recommending
Sure.
it, but
Not recommending
it
it.
could be done.
It could happen.
Could be done.
yeah, but again, it's double-edged sword, right? Like it's amazing technology. Let's use it for good people.
That's
And
true.
deliver donuts to people. That'll be nice.
That's great.
I don't know, sorry.
Big thanks this week to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category 5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category 5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Dermatis.
Thanks, Sasha. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Please visit our website at category5.tv. This one over here is about to get married.
It's true. Okay, so here's the thing. Now, Dave knows a little bit about this because, well, I had to tell him a little because if I didn't, he'd probably buy his own computer. But, okay, we're getting married, and we're getting married in his birthday month. So, combined between his birthday and the wedding, I want to get him a nice gift. Now, the computer at our house is older than the sun. I don't even know how old it is. It's old, and it has been failing of late. And he keeps talking about wanting to buy a new one. And I thought to myself, since I have such an interest in learning more, that perhaps I could build him a computer as a gift, like a wedding/birthday gift. Building a computer here on the show, get your help, and really like get him the best, and also know what I'm doing in the process. Like learn. I want it to be.
And what an opportunity to teach,
right?
As well. So those of you who have never done such a thing,
I want it to be magnificent, but I also want it to be something I can do.
Okay.
So,
first of all, I'm thinking we should totally also build a piece of garbage that you could give him as a joke.
So
like get like an old like PS2 or something,
and be like,
and
here
like
you
install
go.
like Windows 3.1 on it.
Oh my goodness!
And like present maybe not.
Probably not.
That would be hilarious.
It would be
awesome.
super funny to somebody else.
We want you to be able to pitch in your advice. So get your questions in the chat room. We're watching the chat room to see what questions you have for Mrs. Rickman over here.
To be.
So,
To be Rickman.
first of all, boils down to it, what's the budget?
Well, here's the honest truth. I don't know much about this. So yeah, and
Spend
I trust,
away,
and
folks.
this is part of the fear factor when you don't know about building your own computer.
Okay.
You don't know what you're really getting yourself into.
Sure.
So the budget is whatever I need to spend to get a really good daily computer with a little bit of wow factor, but not like, you know.
You want to woo him. It's
I
got to
wa-
be beautiful. It's
I
got
want-
to be impressive.
I want it to be a source of pride, and I want it to be easy to use, and I want it to have some cooler, edgy things. Like
I know what you mean, because whenever we have guests in the studio, people look at our Thermaltake Snow Edition and they go, whoa.
I want that. Yeah, that's what I want.
What is that? And I open the door and show them the giant cooler.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So LEDs are a thing now. That's a cheap way to really spice things up.
Yeah.
So what I would start with, Sasha, is I would get onto websites that sell pre-manufactured computers. And that is to get an idea for what is the approximate cost that you'd be paying for a gaming system. So, for example, I would go over to our website, category5.tv, and on our website we have partners, and our partners allow you to support the show by shopping with our partners. So I click on Shop with Our Partners. There's one on here called Newegg, and the only reason I'm going to go there, I don't want you to shop there. Amazon is much better to us. But it gives us a chance to go computer systems, gaming desktops. I presume Dave is going to want a game on this thing.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So let's just say that that's the case.
Okay.
So let's just jump over here and say, okay, well, what are currently the best sellers on here? And get a sense for, okay, well, what are people buying right now? And I can see that, okay, well, these are, meh. No, those are, I don't want one of those. Those are not very
I
good
will say,
examples.
because the chat room has asked about size requirements.
Yeah.
I will say that the computer we use now, it is very big, and it's
Clunky?
it's not horrible. Dave built it a long time ago,
Okay.
but it
So he's into the
it
DIY
is in a nice spot beside our TV, because we use the TV as the monitor.
Right, okay.
Right? And so it can be a nice big full tower, because it's going to be a little bit of the display itself,
right.
right? People are going to see it, and I want it to look good, so it can be big.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking at the Republica Gamer ROG systems from ASUS, and so that gives us an idea, kind of what's sweet.
Perfect.
This one has like a GTX 1070 with 8 gigs of graphics. It's got an i7 7700. It's got 256 gig SSD. So things we need to think about is hard drive. So this just gives us an idea. So this is a pretty decent little system for $2,100, and that's Canadian. So that's like $4 US. So you look at that and you think, okay, well, $2,100, is that reasonable? Is that kind of where we're aiming for? Is that too high, too low, and then we take that as our target.
Right.
Because because then we can say, okay, well, what does that system have that we could reuse in our shopping? Because we're going to build it ourselves.
Right.
So can we save money? Can we get better bang for the buck by building it ourselves? What are the advantages to doing it ourselves? So first of all, not first of all, I've asked a couple questions already, but what are the main uses for this system? Media center?
Media center.
So would you be throwing Cody on it?
He'll be, for sure.
Okay.
I want to install Cody on it.
So then we say, what's your TV?
Big. It's 60-inch.
Is it 4K?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to take some power.
Right.
Because the 4K is going to require a 4K HDMI output on the computer. So instantly we've taken that price and we've said, okay, now that's up a little bit on the graphics end because 1080p is just not going to cut it for you.
Right.
And you also need enough processor power to be able to handle 4K video.
Right.
Okay.
I also want good USB ports only because I know...
You mean good?
Fast.
And accessible?
Yes, fast and accessible. I want them to be on the front of the tower.
Okay.
And I want them to be whatever is better than what he has now.
Do you have to be able to put stuff on top of the tower, or can it be like a rounded bezel with USB ports on the top?
It can be rounded bezel with USB ports on the top.
All right, because that's pretty common for kind of sleek and natural looking. So, so far we know she needs to have a 4K video output over HDMI, I would presume is a good connector.
Yes.
For your TV. We're going to need to have, I would say with that, you're going to need at least 16 gigs of RAM would probably be advisable because he's going to be doing anything on there at 4K resolution. Do you think he's ever going to want to do like VR stuff? Because if you're getting into a high-end system, that's something that you could just add the goggles for. And
Right. Is it a huge thing to add it in? It probably would be cool to have it. Do you know?
Sorry?
like if you were to throw a VR headset on there, not that it has to be a part of it. But
Yeah, no. As soon as you get into VR, that's when things get a little bit more complicated. You need, I know, with like NVIDIA, I think it starts at like the newer series, like the GTX, like 1060s, or even like the 900 series.
Oh, okay.
So what that is it's the video card. It's like the graphics card, right? So if he is doing gaming, things like that. And the new, like, NVIDIA, like, again, that's the card that I have. The newer ones, the 10 series, newest cards, I have the cheapest one, which is the 1060, and it works perfectly fine for me. Like, I do all my video editing, all my gaming, everything there.
Okay.
And, like, it's, like, the cheapest of the new versions that you really need right now.
Interesting fact is that you can always upgrade your video card too. So if you build the computer with even a 1060 or 1080 card, then you could then later remove that, pawn it off, and buy a better card.
Right.
So that's always an option too. That's one of the nice things about building it yourself is you've got that room to expand, grow.
And I'll know how to be, replacing things and taking things apart and putting them back together. Right now, for me, it's just like, it's so daunting to think about. I would never open his computer right now and try and swap things
You've
out.
done a Pi, so this is a big step.
Yeah.
Hard drive space. Is he going to be storing the videos on the computer? Or
We do have an external hard drive that we use often to take things off of his computer because it maxes out.
Okay. Is that a USB drive? External?
Yes.
Because that could be fairly slow
Yes.
when you start getting
So
into video.
having better storage in the computer would be great.
So I would suggest probably an SSD for the operating system and a supplemental storage drive, or even if you have the budget for it, 2 drives that would be in what's called a RAID 1. That would be for your data, so that if it's, say, a 2 4 terabyte drives, you wouldn't have 8 terabytes, you'd only have 4 terabytes, but if one fails, you don't lose any of the files.
Right.
So you have that redundancy like a server. So then you don't lose and have to reaccumulate all your videos and things like that.
That's
so that's
cool.
something to consider.
Okay.
Okay, so think about that. Folks at home, viewers at home.
Yeah.
Anything else we should know about it? That, things that specifically you want to be able to do with this system?
There's, as much as, it's mostly just day-to-day stuff, right? Like, we're not super, we're not super programmers, right?
Day-to-day, so basically high-end, awesome, ready for VR.
Day-to-day, super
happiness.
awesome stuff. Exactly.
And it's got to be sexy as anything.
It needs to be
sleek, right?
sleek. Yeah, it's a gift. It needs to be
cool
Yeah.
looking.
Low maintenance.
Hot. Low maintenance.
So I'm thinking, I would lean toward water cooling, but if you ever maybe a self-contained water cooler that doesn't require refilling,
Okay.
that would be all right. If we could find one that's sleek and looks nice and works within the chassis. Otherwise, you're looking at a CPU fan, which is fine, but it generates a little more noise, and it's not quite as efficient as far as cooling goes.
So water cooling would be
Water cooling might be neat if we
Cool.
go with
There you go.
something that's self-contained, though, so that we don't have to refill it.
Yeah.
Okay.
and then I'm excited to introduce them more to Linux, right? So then I want I want it to be not like I want the desktop environment, and I realize that we've been looking at that a lot. I want it to be not completely like out there, different from
Foreign from
foreign,
Windows.
but I don't want it to be too similar either, right? Like
Okay.
I want it to be intuitive, but obviously a bit different, so that when he's bringing,
Okay.
because he brings his computer
You're gonna be
up,
able to use it.
yeah, we have to. But he shows people, and it's a really good
Right.
window into people
So
wanting
would
to be
he
a part.
be into showing off what happens on the display? Like if we were to make it from now this is operating system, so we're going Linux, so
Yes.
probably want to avoid any kind of BIOS features that are going to have trouble with Linux. If we have things like cool 3D effects and things in the environment, so that he can like, do you want a touch screen? Do you want to be able to do
No.
swoop things and
Not a touch screen,
okay?
because the screen we use is our computer or our TV.
Oh, you use the TV
the
as the
TV
screen.
is the screen always.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
4K screen.
60 inch.
16 4K
Yeah.
screen is hard. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Keyboard, mouse. We should get something that matches. Make it look
Yeah.
nice. Okay. So, anything else you can think of?
And obviously
throw-
wireless keyboard mouse.
Any question? Wireless. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea, but it's got to be sleek.
Right.
It's got to be awesome, and it's got to hold a charge.
Yes.
Chat room. If you had any suggestions or anything, yeah. Bob
A lot.
K54 thinks, yeah, let's get some Barrel 3D on there. Maybe some Compiz Fusion. We're gonna get the wobbly windows and throw the cube on there for you.
Cool.
So that'll be cool. Anything else? Just looking at the chat room right now, real quick. Have you seen anything there, folks?
Yeah.
All right, so viewers at home, comment below. If you're on YouTube, comment there. If you're on our website, category5.tv, please comment below. And also, we have a thread over at forum.category5.tv, and you'll see in the Category 5 Technology TV forum post for Sasha's computer build. So any suggestions that you have, please post them there. I presume like shopping on Amazon is an option and things like that?
Yes. Now, I mean, shopping on Amazon's great because I can use the links, and B, I have Amazon Prime, so I get free shipping for many
Nice.
things.
Get here quick.
But getting it to not my house is the thing, too. Because it can't get shipped to my house.
Okay, we can
Yeah.
ship it to our Category 5 address.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can just choose when
Right
you
here.
order where do you want to ship it to.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, the only thing Dave really knows right now is he's just not allowed to watch the show between now and the wedding, and
dear.
he's not allowed to buy a new computer, which means he probably knows he's getting a computer,
Okay.
right?
All right.
But he doesn't
He's
know
on to
to
you.
what scope in any way, and he doesn't know I'm building it, or else he'd probably have an anxiety attack.
Oh.
Just from the chat room, Lyndon does concur with me that a RAID 1 would be a good idea for the data.
Okay.
Just, I had
never know.
The image voice of Category 5 Technology TV, Jody Krangle, she has a computer with multiple hard drives just for that reason, and one of the hard drives she mentioned was having some trouble. And it's beautiful that she's not at risk of losing her data.
Exactly.
Right.
Because it's on 2 hard drives at once. So
Perfect.
you pull out one, you pop in another, and
done.
too bad, so sad. You lost the cost of, you got to pay a couple $100 for another drive, but at least you didn't lose your stuff.
Right. Perfect.
There you go.
Sweet.
There you are.
Thank you.
All right, so get your posts in, get your recommendations in. Over the course of the next few weeks, we're going to be, the next 2 weeks, we're going to be looking at the components themselves, assembling these for you so that we have kind of a shopping list, if you will, and then I guess you'll just go shopping.
That's
and then
right.
we're going to get going on the builds themselves. So make sure you're here. Make sure you participate in that. And we look forward to hearing from you. If you don't want to communicate by commenting and things like that, head on over to our website, category5.tv, and you'll see the Contact Us. And you can simply send us an email for the live show.
Thank you so much in advance for your help, because
Thanks,
this is
everybody.
a thing I cannot do myself.
I can see this being on the forums and just going pages after pages
Yes.
of recommendations.
And becoming a 40 video
Yeah.
series. I'm going to say we're going to opt for NVIDIA, and we're going to opt for Intel processors.
A new i9. No, just kidding.
Yeah, just go with the best of the best.
Bestest ever.
So there we have it, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's all the time that we have. We're actually a little over time tonight. Thanks to these two for being here with me on the show, and we will see you next Wednesday night. So have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Good night.